Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I have a really exciting video to share with you today using these gorgeous interference inks from Lisa Horton Crafts. Now, I don't know why it's took me so long to discover these ink pads, but they are absolutely stunning. How they work is they look different on white cardstock and black cardstock or coloured cardstock. So on the lids, you can see that the left-hand side colour is roughly what it will look like on white. And then on the right hand side is what it will look like on black cardstock or coloured cardstock. So I'm just going to show you how this will look here. So I've just got a blending brush and I'm just using the Cherry Bomb Shimmer ink here. And I've put it on the white and then I've put it on the black. Now these have got shimmer. They are really, really sparkly. They've got mica in. They're a combination of dye and pigment inks with mica and they are absolutely stunning. So the second colour that I'm just going to show you now is the Summer Garden Shimmer. So you've got that lovely vibrant green on the white cardstock, and then when we put it on the black cardstock you get like this turquoise shimmery colour. They are just stunning. I'm going to bring them up to the camera so that you can see them. They are still a little bit wet at the moment, but look at that sparkle. They just are incredible, and I just think there's so many fun things that you could use these inks for. So we're going to make a few cards today. I'm going to show you 3 cards using stencils and then 1 card using an embossing folder. So first of all, I've got this Drippy butterfly stencil from A Colourful Life Designs. I really love the grungy effect that this has. And then I've also got this skeleton leaf mask, which I'm going to use over the top of the butterfly as well, just to add a little bit of texture and interest to the wings. So first of all, I'm going to use the Sweet Treat Shimmer ink, and I've got my blending brush, and you'll see that it's a lovely yellow colour on the blending brush, but then when we put it through the stencil you get that lovely hint of pink, and it is just gorgeous. I was really mesmerised by these inks when I was playing with them. I just think there's so many ways that they could be used. So once I've added that first colour, I'm just going to clean off the stencil with my microfiber cloth, and then I'm going to just add this mask over the top of the Drippy butterfly stencil. So this is the skeleton leaf stencil, and I'm going to use the Galaxy Dream shimmer ink for this one, and I'm just going to go through that mask, and that's just going to give the butterfly a little bit of extra texture, not masses, but it is going to help just bring out a little bit more of the design, and I think it just adds a really nice dimensional layer to the butterfly. And then look at that, you can see the ink is still quite wet, so we will pop that aside to dry, but you've got all that lovely shimmer, all that texture, and yeah, they're just gorgeous. I'm going to add a little bit more of that Galaxy Dream ink to my glass mat, spritz of water and a paintbrush just to add a few little splatters. These inks are water reactive, so you can do some of these techniques with them, but I'll show you a close-up of that when it's dry and you'll be able to see all of that lovely shimmer. So for the second card, I'm just going to use the Zinnia set stencil from A Colourful Life Designs. Again, I'm going to use my magnets to hold it in place. And I'm going to use the Milk Chocolate Roses ink and the Cherry Bomb ink. And I'm going to show you how you can use the 2 inks together and get a lovely seamless blend between the colours. So I've used that Milk Chocolate Roses for the centre of the flowers, which is almost like a coppery goldy brown colour or peach. It kind of comes throughout, really, really pretty. And then this Cherry Bomb kind of comes through more of like a deep fuchsia colour. But when we remove the stencil, look how seamlessly those 2 colours have blended together, and you've got that lovely variation of colour on those flowers. Really, really pretty. So for the third card, I'm going to use a layering stencil, and I'm going to show you how by using a layering stencil and using the different inks, you really get a beautiful effect. So this is the Layered Mixed Flowers stencil set from A Colourful Life Designs. There's 4 parts to this layering stencil. Now my base layer measures about 4¼ inches squared, and I'm just going to use the edge of the black cardstock to line up the layering stencils here, because obviously my card panel is smaller than the stencil, but I am going to trim this down. So even though we're going to get a bit of a funny edge on the left, I will be trimming it down. So I've come in with my first colour, which is that gorgeous Sweet Treat Shimmer, and I'm using that for all of the flowers. So I'm going to use the same colour for the second layer of the stencil as well. And remember that although this is going on yellow, it's going to dry that lovely pale shimmery pink colour. Then for the next layer in stencil, which is the leaves, I'm going to come in with the Summer Garden Shimmer interference ink. So that's that lovely vibrant green on the white cardstock, but then you get that lovely deep kind of tealy turquoisey bluey shimmery green colour on the black cardstock, and it just is really pretty. And then the final layer in Stencil is like dots in the centres of the flowers. So again, I'm going to use the milk chocolate roses for this one. So I'm just going to line that up again with the bottom of my panel and then come in with the ink. So kind of looks brown here on top of the stencil, but when it's on the cardstock underneath, you get that lovely coppery peach colour. So really, really pretty. And I think this card turned out to be one of my favourites that I made. So just look at how the lovely colours all mixed together like that. They're just so pretty. So yeah, really, really enjoyed how that turned out. And I think there's lots of fun ways that you could use layering stencils with these inks. So for the fourth card panel, I'm just going to use the Damask embossing folder from Sizzix. This is a Tim Holtz one, and it's a 3D embossing folder. So you get lots of lovely detail and depth when you emboss. And I'm just kind of deciding which side do I want to use, but I do use the raised side. And I'm just using a light hand with my blending brush with the milk chocolate roses, just to show you how the ink, as it captures the 3D embossed areas, you get like this lovely, almost gilding wax looking finish. Because of the mica powders in the inks, you've got that lovely shimmer, and so it looks beautiful. So if you don't have any gilding wax, or you're not a fan of all these extra products that you could need, these ink pads are really kind of double up, so you could use them in so many different ways, and I definitely think they give that gilded look finish. So yeah, something to bear in mind if you're considering them. So I'm going to turn these panels that we've created into cards now. So I've just trimmed that down a little bit, and I'm going to use some pink holographic cardstock to matte it to. I am trying out some Barely Arts glue at the minute. I've never used it before, but it's recently become available at Craft Stash in the UK. And so I've been giving it a try, and so far I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm loving the fine tip and the fact that you can just get a minimal amount of glue out. I feel that although it is quite expensive, it is going to last a long, long time because you're not using much glue. So yeah, that's what I'm using today anyway. Let me know in the comments if you've used this glue and what you think to it. But there's the first card finished. Very simple. You can see those splatters now, they're dry. I've added a few little flat back sequins from a Colourful Life Designs, and the sentiment is from Funky Fossil Designs. It's the strip back sentiments. So for the second card, I'm going to turn this layering stencil panel into a card now. I'm using a 5x5 card base here, and I've added some foam tape. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue so that I've got a little bit of wiggle room, and then I'm going to pop that down. I've got a lovely bold die cut sentiment from Spellbinders that just says hello. And then I'm going to add a few little clear dewdrops just to finish. And again, I really want the inks to be the star of the show for these cards, so I don't really feel that they need much adding to them because there's so much shimmer on the backgrounds that I really want that to be the focal element of the card. So that's that card finished. For the third panel that we created, I'm just sticking this down to a side folding A2 card blank. I've got this hello. This is actually the excess from a Gina K Designs die. So this is normally the bit that you throw away, but I've kept it because I think stacked together it creates a lovely bold sentiment. I didn't have the centres for the O's, but I don't think that matters. And then again, I'm just going to add a few of these flat back sequins, and again I'm just using some glue and a wax pencil just to help me place those in place. And again, another really quick and easy simple card, but how effective is that with the interference inks? So for the fourth card, this embossed panel, I'm just going to add this die cut that I've got. This is the Wildflower stems from Sizzix, and I'm going to use the Sending Hugs sentiment. So I'd already white heat embossed this onto a strip of black card, and I'm going to use some brads to hold it in place. So, or split pins, you may know them as. So I've used my pokey tool to poke a hole through, pop the split pins through, and then I'm just going to mat that onto a layer of black cardstock so that it's got a very thin but bold black border. And then I'm going to attach that to an A2 card blank as well. And then that will be the fourth card finished for today. So thank you so much for joining me. As always, I really appreciate the fact that you've took the time to watch this tutorial. All the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below, and I'll leave you some close-up photos now so that you can see all the cards that we've made in today's video. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this tutorial. It really helps me out, and let me know in the comments below which ones are your favourite. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, then please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more from me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.